Welcome back to the CryptoWorld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, both Bitcoin and Ethereum are bouncing from support after the new CPI inflation numbers were released, which I'll talk about in just a moment, so definitely stick around. First of all, starting off with the new CPI inflation numbers that were just released a few hours ago. And if you watched my last video on the channel, you would know that the majority were expecting 5% year-over-year inflation. But what we actually ended up getting is a 4.9% reading, 4.9% year-over-year inflation in the consumer price index. And so due to this, we got a slight miss to the downside based on what the majority were expecting, which was slightly bullish in the short term. Once again, if you watched my last video, you would know that if we got underneath expectations, that is considered bullish. If we got above expectations, that is considered bearish. And the further away from expectations we get, the more significant in that direction that markets would likely go. So as I immediately tweeted out over on my Twitter account, this slight miss to the downside in the CPI numbers means we're looking slightly bullish in the short term. And if you don't already follow me over on my Twitter, make sure you're doing that for these extra real-time updates in between my regular daily update videos. Because, for example, if you simply bought some Bitcoin or longed Bitcoin, as soon as I tweeted out this original update tweet just here, tweeting out the 4.9% year-over-year number, that was an easy trade to make and an easy short-term profit if you're looking for those short-term trades. But anyway, now getting into the Bitcoin part of this video. This is on the daily Bitcoin to US dollar chart, and right now, as of recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is still in this sideways consolidation range here on the daily time frame. So basically, over the last one day, not much has changed here on the daily Bitcoin chart, because of course this sideways consolidation is still currently occurring within a larger bullish trend. So essentially, we are currently in a similar phase in the market to what we saw back here, basically a large pause from the larger bullish trend. But of course, as I've explained over and over again recently on the channel, if we confirm a break below 27,000 approximately, then in that case, that could begin to break that larger bullish trend. And in that case, a confirmed break below 27K would likely send the price of Bitcoin down towards this price range in between around 24,000 to 25,000. But at least for now, considering the price of Bitcoin has not yet broken back below 27,000, once again, we are still looking very neutral within a larger bullish trend. And as of right now, the momentum is still looking very flat if you're looking at the daily Bitcoin price oscillators. And now, if you're looking at the 8-hour Bitcoin to US dollar chart, just recently with those new CPI inflation numbers looking more bullish than bearish in the short term, this has helped the price of Bitcoin bounce right off this important support line. And in case you're new to this channel, this line of support is sitting at around 27.4K, which we have just bounced off. And this line of resistance is sitting at around 29.2K. And once again, if we see a confirmed break either below this support level or above this resistance level, then that would set up a technical price target on the charts. But it is important that we see a lot of confirmation on a break above resistance or below support. For example, at least some candle closes below support or above resistance. But ideally, if we come in for a retest, we need to confirm that resistance as new support or confirm this support as new resistance if we actually see some sort of retest. And in those cases, if we see a confirmed breakout above resistance, then that would set up a technical price target at approximately $33,000. But if we see a confirmed break below this support line, then that would set up a technical price target at just above $24,000. But obviously, at least for now, while the price is still in this sideways range, obviously we are still looking relatively neutral, and those technical price price targets are not currently in play. And also, the longer the price of Bitcoin stays in this consolidation range, into this tighter and tighter range, the more volatile and the more significant that next move will be once we eventually either break below this support line or above this resistance line. And believe it or not, while the price of Bitcoin is basically in a choppy sideways price range, you can still make a lot of money during a choppy sideways price range. And if you want to know how to do that, then stick around to the end of this video to find out more. But first, taking a look at the short-term Bitcoin charts here on the 4-hour time frame. Right now, the price of Bitcoin is obviously playing out a bit of a short-term bounce, just as those new CPI numbers were released a few hours ago, which once again, as I explained in my last video and over on my Twitter account, as soon as they were released, that was a short-term bullish signal. And due to this happening, this is also causing the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI to begin to form higher lows and higher highs, which is a signal pointing towards a return in bullish momentum, at least in the short term. And so technically speaking, we are starting to become more bullish than bearish in terms of the short-term trend and momentum, which is obviously different from what I've been saying over the last 4 to 5 days. Ever since all the way up here, I've basically been bearish in the short term in terms of the momentum and the trend. But right now, we are finally beginning to see some confirmation signals helping to confirm a bit of a trend reversal, at least in the smaller time frames, in the shorter term here. And as for support and resistance, we still have this area of support sitting in between around 27.5k to 27.8k, and we have this area of resistance in between around 28.6k to 29k approximately. And obviously, just below this area of support, we have that line of support that I just talked about on the 8-hour time frame, and just above this area of resistance, we have that line of resistance here on the 8-hour time frame. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video. This is on the daily ETH to US dollar chart, and right now, as of recording this video, the price of ETH is still in this choppy sideways price range, basically consolidating sideways on the daily time frame, which is still occurring within a larger bullish trend, kind of like what we saw back here. And as for the momentum seen here in the daily Ethereum RSI and the daily Ethereum MACD, the momentum is looking very flat as of right now on the daily time frame, pointing towards more neutral price action. But now, if you're zooming into the shorter term, this neutral price action on the smaller time frames actually looks like larger bullish and bearish trends. And obviously, over the last 4 to 5 days or so, we have been in a short-term bearish trend, showing short-term bearish momentum, as I've been saying since all the way up around here. But right now, we are potentially seeing some early signs showing a reversal out of this short-term bearish trend into a new short-term bullish trend. Because right now, as of recording this video, the 4-hour Ethereum RSI is currently forming higher lows and higher highs. And so obviously, if this continues and we continue to see more higher highs and higher lows form, then in that case, that would simply provide further confirmation pointing towards a bullish trend reversal. And now, if we do end up seeing some more bullish price action here, I would expect the next important resistance to come into play in between around 1920 to 1950. And above that range, I would expect some more resistance at around $2,000. And as for support, we still have this price range in between around 1830 to 1850, which has held up very well over the last 1 to 2 days as support. And below that price range, we have this level of support sitting closer towards around 1810. And now, even though the price of ETH is potentially reversing from bearish to bullish in the short term, this is still really occurring within a larger choppy sideways price range, like I said here on the daily time frame. But believe it or not, you can still make a lot of money in crypto during a choppy sideways price range. And if you want to know how to do that, then check out the video in the bottom left of your screen right now, because that video in the bottom left shows you how to make money in a choppy sideways price range, and the video in the top left shows you how to make money if the price is going either up or down. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.